Good morning, traders, and happy new week. So, starting with EURUSD, what we can see is that internally we are actually bearish at the moment. So, you can see that here we are pushing down lower and potentially going to have that third push now as well from the supply. We could see that we had the minor break, we have fresh demand forming. So, we want to see price come into this demand and then potentially pushing up into the supply. And it's a nice area we're reacting from as well, this old level of demand, which we just liquidated, and then that provides the momentum for us to push up higher. So overall, I may be looking for sort of a just short-term long into that supply. What you can see as well is that we are currently in this supply as well. So we just need to see if we can push up higher above this to really, that would be like a strong confirmation that we have bullish momentum at the moment, because, we could obviously just move down from here. But the way we're coming into this supply with so much impulsiveness is a pretty good sign that we're potentially going to break it and head up higher. Now, why would we consider shorts from here when we overall want to break past it and, overall we should be bullish on EU? I'm only going to target from here. We're not going to take shorts because if we look at the DXY, you can see that we are heading up higher and it kind of is the reverse of EU at the moment. We have this demand that we're coming into, so it could come down and then push up higher. So the other thing you can see is that we have this really compressive movement. Even though we are heading up higher on DXY, there's no clear, strong bullish momentum, right? So it is still possible for price to come down lower and liquidate this low, because this is kind of our final stop where we want to see if price can break up higher with momentum. And until we see that, it's just very low probability or risky to try short EU, because it needs liquidity and it could just take that from the supply and move up higher. So that's what I'll be looking at. I mean, we need price to come into that 4-hour demand first before we get a setup, but we need way more development on the 15-minute. But you can see we have the minor break, we have multiple demand zones forming over here, and this would be the extreme. So if we draw our 50%, you can see that these two zones are kind of below premium, so not very high probability. What would be good to see is price comes down and gives us the break and a fresh demand. This is it will be better to see a fresh demand get liquidated and then price pushes up higher rather than waiting for these, since they are in premium. And yeah, we have a zone here which is also pretty good. So unless price comes into these lower zones, I wouldn't look for entry. I think these would be quite lower probability. So yeah, and let's wait for further price development. So over on GU, I mentioned last week as well that since we had no liquidity in this extremely impulsive bullish move, most likely this was going to become the liquidity, and we can see that's exactly what happened. I'm just gonna have some water. Yeah, so even though we broke, it was actually more of a liquidity grab. You can see that there wasn't really impulsive breakdown. It just kind of closed below it, but this is really consolidated price over here, right? And then immediately after that, we're forming the minor break already. So yeah, I would say I just want to see if this is a valid demand. Yep. So it looks good to actually just sweep this low and head up higher, which would be in line with DXY and EU. We have, well, that's not really a clean supply, but we have this supply over here, which could potentially be a target or liquidity for this move up. Because yeah, even though we had this break, it's not very convincing that price wants to be bearish. But either way, we can take retracement longs from here. And yeah, that'll be all for today, guys. Thanks.